Why do people remember Michael Jackson's accusations, but forget he walked out of court not guilty on every count?
Because the accusations were serious. You can't just ignore that.
Here's what they don't want you to notice. A courtroom needs evidence. The media only needs repetition.
So the accusation becomes the brand?
Exactly. Tiny courtroom demon. Michael Jackson wasn't just a pop star. He became too big to manage. Too rich, too global, too independent. And then he did the one thing artists are not supposed to do. He started owning the music and pointed at puppet masters.
That's when he stopped being just a performer. He became a power problem.
Exactly. In the 80s, Michael bought the ATV catalog, which included major Beatles songs. That means he wasn't just singing hits. He owned publishing, and publishing is where the real money lives.
Okay, but that doesn't explain the accusations.
It explains why the machine had a reason to stop treating him like a protected asset. Because as long as Michael made money for the system, he was the king of pop. But when he started owning parts of the system, suddenly he became weird. Suddenly he became a punchline. Suddenly every part of his image became a trial.
But he settled in 1993, right?
Yes, a civil settlement. Not a criminal conviction, not an admission of guilt. But the media knew most people wouldn't understand the difference. So they turned the payout into a feeling. And feelings are harder to overturn than verdicts.
So legally, one thing happened. Emotionally, they branded him forever.
Now you're getting it, evil baby paralegal. Then came 2005, a full criminal trial over child abuse allegations. Quote-unquote witnesses, quote-unquote testimony, media circus, the whole world watching. And what happened? Not guilty on all counts.
The court cleared him. The culture didn't.
That's the whole game. They didn't need to prove Michael guilty forever. They only needed to make the question immortal.
Why would the media do that?
Because suspicion is profitable. A genius is inspiring. A fallen icon is clickable. And Michael gave them another reason to hate him. He started talking about Sony, about ownership, about how artists get used, drained, and discarded, and about the people behind the curtain.
So the dancing man started pointing at the money men.
Exactly. And that's when the image assassination became useful. If Michael says they're exploiting artists, people might listen. But if the media spends years making him look unstable, strange, suspicious, then when he speaks against the industry, people don't hear a warning. They hear a crazy celebrity.
So they didn't have to silence him. They just had to make people stop trusting him.
That's colder than censorship. That's character destruction. Because once your image is poisoned, truth sounds like paranoia. A legal case ends. A media label doesn't.
So what's the actual pattern?
Simple. First, they celebrate your talents. Then they profit from your image. Then you start owning too much. Then you start speaking too much. Then suddenly, your name becomes the scandal. Not your music, not your catalog, not your warnings. The scandal.
So the machine doesn't always destroy the man. Sometimes it destroys the meaning of his name.
Exactly. And that's the permanent trial. No final verdict, no clean ending. Just a question kept alive forever. Because if people spend 30 years asking, was Michael guilty? They never asked the other question. Who benefited when the most powerful artist on earth became impossible to defend?